Hey, what's up guys? Little man with a big opinion here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about your taxes and, things you should, spend that money on. If you've been prepping for a while, then maybe you already think about, you know, what your taxes will go into as a prepper. Because for a lot of people, it is a pretty substantial chunk of change that you get. And, for a lot of people, it's an unknowing way of, saving money throughout the year. I know the first time I got it after I had worked at Pizza Hut, I blew that money, in a couple of weeks and, didn't think anything of it. And then the last couple of years, it has turned into, that's when I bought a new firearm, got ammo. Last year I got a bunch of Mylar bags and stored a pretty substantial amount of food away. But I'll just go down the list, give you something to think about spending that money on. Kind of, put my list of priorities down. I'll be releasing a video later today talking about everything going on in Ukraine, what I'm doing to prepare for that, and let's just hop right into it. The very first thing that I think you should do from a financial standpoint, if you've got credit cards, if you're behind on any bills, you should probably use it to, get caught up on your bills. Because if you're paying minimums on stuff, then you're paying interest. And so if your monthly payment on something's $50 and it's going to take you, the entire year to pay it off, then, $6 or $7 of that $50 is just going right back into interest that whatever organization is charging you for that stuff. So you got credit cards, phone bills, past medical bills, anything like that. You should probably get squared away financially before you go out and, spend this stuff on anything prepping related. After that, if you're a new prepper, then I would focus on, food and water storage. Right now, we live in an abundance of food production. Sometimes it might not seem that way because of supply chain issues involving truckers, bottlenecks at ports. But the big way to look at it is, the 50-pound bag of rice at Sam's has gone up about $1.50 since this whole, pandemic has started. And your food will slowly increase, that's inflation. So, for instance, if you take your $8 Mountain House meal that's got 400 calories in it, in 10 years it might be a $10 or $12 Mountain House meal, but it's still the same 400 calories. But you purchased it at the $8 mark, and so, your calories per dollar spent will be lower than, it is 10 years from now. Think of it as a very, very They say gold and silver and platinum and palladium are your precious metals, and copper, some people consider it a semi-precious metal. Um, I would put food in that semi-precious, to precious category. Uh, so look into bulk storage of food and water, because you know every dollar you pay for your calories, it's just increasing. Uh, After that, you've got your big chunk of finances. Most things, it is cheaper to buy in bulk, so maybe you can look into purchasing your ammo. Instead of getting your 50 and 20 round boxes at a time, for X cents per round, it goes down if you purchase it, 100 rounds at a time, 500 rounds at a time. Or, this is your way, it's difficult for you to save your $30 from every paycheck. Maybe you want to get a Jackery or solar panels or something like that. And so this is your way of getting those big ticket prepping items. Maybe you get enough back in your tax returns to get a Harvest Right, freeze dryer. Those things are like $2,300 for the smallest version. And then, the other thing you can look into your tax return for big ticket item is, maybe it's your down payment on your bug out property, or getting a garden set up. But, don't, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you go out and spend it on a bunch of feel good material items that doesn't have anything to do with prepping, then I kind of think it's a waste of your dollars. Without getting political, if they say you're getting money back, I've heard the argument of, just tax me what I'm supposed to get taxed each year, and let me go ahead and keep my money as is, so I don't have to wait a whole year to get my funds back. So what I'm doing this year is, setting up a home gym, because physical fitness is extremely important. Planting a couple of more fruit-bearing trees. We're getting into March. Between March and April is when I got to get that stuff, planted to give it the longest amount of time to settle in and grow to get ready for the next winter. Using pallet wood to make raised garden beds. And part of the funds will also go into more Mylar bags in the 1 gallon variety to continue to store food away. I've been, the weekly budget of getting a couple the single packages. I don't think any of the tax return is planned for ammo this time around, but it's something that should be budgeted into your preps. So make sure you're squared away financially, and then I would prioritize food and water, and that extends to food and water production. And then after that, it could also go into bigger ticket prepping items like a Harvest Right freeze dryer, some sort of renewable energy, whether it's a Jackery or a Goal Zero or whatever. I think Kodak's another really good brand. Uh, but, you know, don't just blow all this money and then, continue to go back to your, $40, $50 a month for your prepping budget. And if you would like to see a breakdown of all my bills and how much I put into prepping, what I buy on a weekly/monthly basis for prepping, then I can make that a video for you as well. But we're in tax season. If you haven't filed your taxes already, you should receive everything you need to file them, by the beginning of February, and then it takes you about 2 weeks for it to come in. The longer you wait, the more people you have to wait behind for them to approve it, and the longer you have to wait to put those funds to good use. So if you haven't done your taxes yet, get them done. Don't be lazy. Check that goal off. And then let me know in the comments down below, from a prepping perspective, what you're doing to, better your individual situations. And with that, like, subscribe, comment, and share the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.